Hi everyone, it's the spooky season. Well, it's always the spooky season for me. To celebrate the spooky season the best way, let's do a makeup horror related and let's talk about horror movies. I'm an absolute horror lover. I'm even considering doing a second YouTube channel just dedicated to horror movies because that's one of the themes that I consume the most on YouTube. But you know, I can't even create content for this channel, so I just... Also, I'm kind of a douchebag when it comes to movies. I think I'm a little bit of a movie snob, even though I try not to, but I can't control it sometimes. I have this weird standard of what I think a good movie is like, and so it's very hard for me to be like, I love this movie, I love this movie. I enjoy absolutely the experience of watching movies, but it's very hard for me to say this movie is amazing, this is my favorite movie. With that in mind, I'm gonna do a horror movie tag. Well, do my makeup. I'm gonna do like a simple makeup that I think everyone can follow, and it's easy with, you know, no special effects, nothing like that. And I'm gonna be answering some questions. I'm gonna do my foundation first because that's a really boring part and you guys know how it works. Okay, foundation is done and contour as well. So let's check the first question of the horror tag. What is the first horror movie you remember watching? I watched a bunch of horror movies when I was a kid because my parents didn't really have any, I don't know, different times maybe, but they didn't really care if I watched horror movies, even if I was just a little kid. They would just probably tell me, hey, careful, this is a horror movie, so you're probably gonna be scared if you watch this, and they would leave it up to me as a child to decide if I wanted to watch it or not. And I would like, yeah, sure, I'm gonna watch this movie. And then it would come up to a very graphic part or scary part that I would decide by myself, I'm gonna go to bed. So I really don't remember a movie that I watched fully for the first time, but I have a very distinct memory of watching Critters and that being like super intense for me. I don't think I've even seen that movie anytime recently. I really need to go back and watch it, but I've seen footages of it as an adult and I know it's pretty silly.
I can't hear you. Can anybody out there hear me?
We need a sheriff.
Go check the elevator.
Those hungry hairballs from outer space are on a roll.
Let's just get help. Oh, who are we gonna call? Critter Busters?
Now for the makeup, I think I'm gonna go for like a cutesy kind of vampire look, and I'm gonna use the Zulu palette by Juvia's, and I have these colors here, purple and pink, and I'm gonna do my look around those two colors. Let's do like a blushy kind of look on my nose, my cheeks here. Drunk vampire. And while I blend, let's go for question number 2. What is your favorite horror movie? Okay. Big question. I would love to be one of those people that can absolutely name all of their favorites, everything, like favorite band, favorite movie, favorite food. I can't even do that. I think I'm gonna say like the favorite I saw this year. It's kind of cheating, but yeah, so I really like The Lodge. They are the same directors as that movie Goodnight Mommy. I'm not sure if you saw it, but that's a really good movie as well. It's more of a psychological horror, I'd say. I really like the mood of that movie. It was scary. I saw it in the theaters and I totally recommend it. I'm trying to think of all the movies that I saw this year, but yeah, I think that's a strong, at least top 3, because I don't like to settle for anything. See, that's why I can't pick my favorite, because I'm like, I'm probably forgetting another one because my memory, it ain't so good. But you can trust that The Lodge is a pretty good movie, so yeah.
Did you do that?
We didn't do anything.
We're leaving.
What are you talking about? Look outside. We're stuck here.
Please help me. This can also work for like a watch list for your Halloween. I'm not sure how you guys celebrate your Halloween. Here, honestly, in Portugal, we don't really celebrate it at all. This is like just a personal celebration. Moving on to some purple. And question number 3. What is your favorite horror movie genre? Okay. psychological horror. I like realistic horror. It's truly horrifying if I can believe that can actually happen to me or someone that I love. That's what makes it horrifying. And I am very, 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 very skeptical. I don't believe in shit. I don't believe in myself. Mostly I don't believe in myself. So even though I can enjoy like paranormal and monster movies and all of that, and I might find them as enjoyable, I'm lean towards more psychological horror. I'm gonna start doing a purple wing. Okay, moving on to the Kat Von D palette, the Saint Thinner, and I'm just darkening the eye with a darker purple, well, duh, and black. Next question. What was the last horror movie you watched that actually scared you? I think that's scared in the sense that I couldn't even sleep at night. I don't think it has happened since I was a child, and even then I'm not sure if I can think of one in specific, but I can tell you one that at least made me feel very, very uneasy, which is Mother. That movie is super anxiety inducing and claustrophobic. It's kind of hard to watch, and it's a great example to me that you don't need to be extremely graphic or have a bunch of gore or have jump scares which makes my eyes roll. To me, scary, it has to be something that stays with you after the movie. I really appreciate movies that can impact you that much, that can kind of mess with you.
God help you.
They've come here to see me.
Come quick!
Moving on to the eyebrows. So next question, what's a concept that you'd like to see in horror? I think I'm just gonna say a concept that I would love to see end in horror, which are jump scares. I think it's just such a lazy way of doing horror. Jump scares are not scary, they're just the human reaction of something super loud and jumping in your face. It's a natural reaction of you being surprised to flinch or jump. When I'm watching a really crappy horror movie and suddenly there's a jump scare and I actually jump, I feel so mad at myself because I'm like, no, don't give them the satisfaction. This is so bad. It just feels like super lazy. All those movies, I forget about them 5 minutes after I walk off the theaters, including movies like It, like the new It. I only saw the first movie. Your story is not good enough to be scary, so you need to put a bunch of jump scares. My eyeliner is done. I did a little bit of a cut crease with a concealer, and let's move on to the next question. What's your favorite on-screen kill? Okay. I think I'm gonna go back again to something that I saw recently. I really like unexpected deaths. When you have like a character where you think it's like the main character or a very important character and you're expecting it to see them until the end of the movie, and when they die right at the start or just in an unexpected way. On Hereditary, not gonna spoil it, but there's an electric post and someone that smashes their head on the electric post. I was surprised. It was a nice death. On The Lodge also, I just mentioned it was one of my favorite movies of this year. Right at like first 5 minutes, there's a character that dies, not in a very spectacular way, but it's so unexpected because it's again a character that you think it's gonna be the main character or at least an important character on the movie, and then it dies like on the first 2 minutes. You're like, whoa, did not expect that. Nice. Let's just draw something a little bit extra here, just why not? I'm gonna grab a red pencil from NYX and I'm gonna use it on my waterline. What's your favorite horror franchise? Okay. I don't like franchises that much. I don't think I have a favorite franchise. I like the one good movie and that's it. I don't really like franchises that keep dragging the same storyline over and over. I like original stuff, so if you think you have enough story or enough content to make several movies, just make a TV show, a TV series. The camera cut off because again my camera is constantly dying, I'm so sorry. I'm using Baby Bat's Beauty liquid lipstick. This is in Bloodlust, and I'm just like applying like this and smudging it with my fingers for the first layer. So now I'm gonna apply like an even layer. We need some blood. So first I'm gonna do some blood freckles, which I was already thinking when I did this little rosy nose cheek kind of thing. So I'm using this is food dye, food colorant, how do you call it? But I'm also gonna put this a little bit on this container here, just a little sprinkle, there you go. And then I have this tiny brush, which is a little whale. You can also use a toothbrush, an old toothbrush. I use this for this specific purpose. As you can see, it's already tainted with red, and I'm just like tuk, 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 tuk. Do this with the finger. Oh god, I can't, I need the two hands. I'm feeling it doing something. I think I have to zoom you in. Blood sprinkles. Freckles. Blood sprinkles, that's how you're gonna call your freckles from now on. Face sprinkles. Oh yeah, it's a little bit more intense now. For the lips, I'm gonna use some Ben Nye Fresh Scab Blood, which is this really thick blood. And I'm just gonna use it around my lips, like this. Like I've been numbing on someone. So last question, what's your favorite horror director? So again, very hard to pick an all-time fave. I'm really liking Ari Aster's movies. He was the director of Hereditary and Midsummer. Another one, I really like Chan-wook Park, a Korean director. He was the director of Oldboy. Probably you know this because it's like one of the most popular Korean movies of all time. It's a part of a... Oh shit! I just remember it's a part of... well, it's not really a franchise. This director made 3 movies about vengeance. So some people call it the Vengeance trilogy, but there's no connection between the 3 movies, but they're all amazing. More on the thriller side than on the horror side, but they're so good. He also has a vampire movie called Thirst, which is also one of my favorite vampire movies because it's so different from any vampire movie I've ever seen. I was so into Korean horror for a long time. I was like binge watching all Korean horror movies that I could find, and then more recently I find recent Korean movies to be kind of tacky, like Train to Busan and that kind of stuff. Not my thing. It's just a little bit too corny for me. So yeah, this is it. This was pretty easy and quick to do. I'm not sure if it screams vampire, but if you put some fangs, I'm sure it will complete the look. I would also put some contact lenses, but I don't have any at the moment. So I hope you have tons of fun on Halloween, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye!